Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a session on engineering as a career with me, Yash Chawla, from Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now, we know that in India today, lakhs of engineers pass out every year, but still there is a problem of unemployability. Why is that? That is because we choose engineering because of wrong motives. There are only a few number of students who come into the engineering field with a specific target of becoming an engineer rather than just getting a degree. So let us see that what are the happenings, mishappenings, and what should and shouldn't be done while choosing engineering as a career. Then, first of all, what is engineering? Now, there can be two definitions of it. One, it can be, as you can see in my background, the branch of engineering and technology concerned with the design and building and use of engines, machines, etc. This is one definition, which is like Chatur used to do in Three Idiots. Now the other part of it is the action of working artfully to bring something about. That means basically, if you want to do a task, you have to achieve a particular result. So the art of making that result, getting that result easily, is known as engineering. It might be design, it might be aesthetics, it might be anything. So out of these two, if you are choosing engineering because of the first reason, then you're already on the wrong track. That is just the science of it. But the execution part of it depends on the second part, which is the art of working artfully to bring about something. So let's see now, the next part that comes in is, what did you know about engineering? Means almost everything you eat, wear, use and like to do involves engineering. This shirt that I'm wearing, that was created in a textile factory, right? And then it was stitched using a sewing machine. But initial part of it was a fiber. Now that fiber was taken from a cotton plant. It was then converted into a thread, and then it was used in a weaving machine. It was weaved into a cloth, and then it was cut using a scissor. Then again it was stitched using a machine, which was again engineering. From everyday things like whatever you use, mobile phones, computers, internet, medicine, everything is engineering. We say for example medicine. If some of you might ask, how has medicine anything to do with engineering? Did you know the pills or the capsules that you use are basically produced in machines, and those machines are built by engineers, designed by engineers. In the medical field, we have biomedical equipments, just as a ventilator. Do you think a doctor invents a ventilator? No, it is a biomedical engineer who designs a ventilator with the help of a doctor, inputs received from a doctor. So it is an engineer who gives you that thing. Space applications, climate, balloons. You must have heard about Google Balloon, which is tracking weather, giving internet all around. So all that is basically engineering. Even your food, today the maximum food that we get has been engineered. Either it has been genetically engineered, either it has been grown by protecting it from pesticides, or anything that you see. Engineering is everywhere in your life. So today, if anybody says that engineering does not have a scope, is a fool. You take any branch, there are jobs available in the market, but the only problem is that we in India don't produce engineers. Rather, we just produce engineering degree holders who go into the market in search of jobs, and no company are actually ready to recruit them because they're not fruitful to them. They are not fruitful to them because they need to be trained, which is the job of the academic institutes, which is not happening. It may be the fault of the students, it may be the fault of the institute, it may be the fault of the system, it doesn't matter. But if you are taking up engineering as a career, if you clear your mind about the concept of engineering and the steps that you should take while selecting engineering, then I don't think that the system, the college, the university, anything matters. It is you who can make the difference. So first of all, let us clear the misconceptions that we have. First misconception is, in India, how do we select engineering? There are a few steps. I will be sharing you a few examples of it. My neighbor did engineering in this branch and he's earning lakhs of rupees. So let me also go and do it in the same branch. This happened a few years back with computer science engineering, computer engineering IT. There you cannot find admissions there. Every top ranker wants to go to computer science engineering. Now what is happening is that everybody is running behind mechanical, civil, electrical. They think that these are the core branches, so the scope is really nice. But I ask you, do you think that you have stopped using IT or computer science products? Or say for example electronics, electronic seats remain vacant maximum throughout Gujarat, but have you stopped using electronic equipments, or you have increased the use of electronic equipments? Now the point here is that we see and do what others are doing right now. Say you are taking admission in, you want to take admission in engineering, so you are going to pass out after 4 years. So what you need to do is, you need to think about the market which is there after 4 years, not about the market which is there right now. Right at present, say lakhs of engineers are coming out, thousands of them are mechanical, thousands of them are civil, and hundreds of them are electronics. What is going to be the state of electronics engineering in 3 years? There is going to be a huge void where campaigns like Make in India and Digital India will come in, and electronic manufacturing industries will come to India. What will happen? There will be a huge void of electronics engineers which are required right now. And what people will do is, oh, there is huge vacancies in electronics engineering, so let me take electronics engineering. Then what happens is, after 4 years you pass out, and at that point of time already all jobs are filled, because nobody is going to wait for you to pass out electronics engineering and hire you. So this is what the state of mind is, and it needs to change. If it changes, it is going to be beneficial for India, it is going to be beneficial for you, and it is going to be beneficial for your career. Another misconception, now this is another great one. Everyone is taking admission in this branch, it must have a lot of scope. Engineering, it must have a lot of scope. So let me also do that. Another misconception is engineering is better than sciences. It's absolutely false. Engineering has a particular purpose. Sciences, say Bachelors of Science and Masters of Science, has a particular purpose. Now both of them, we cannot connect them and say engineering is better than sciences. There are people who have done sciences who earn in crores, and there are engineers who live, they are on the road without job. So every field has its own importance. You cannot say that engineering is better than science or science is better than engineering. Both complement each other, and both cannot run without each other. If people are not creating theories in science, then how are you going to apply it using engineering concepts? So it is very important that both are respected, and it depends on your mindset. Say if you are very good at theory, if you are very good at calculations, very good at theory, then it is better that you go for science. And if you're good at executing the concepts, say if you read a theory and then you get different concepts, you can look at the current scenario in the market. Say, I'll give you an example. Say you read a theory about mechanical engineering, say you read a theory about say tensile force. Now you go in the market and you see something, you see a product and you see it is, if I apply my concept to it using tensile force, then I think their work will become easy. So that is what is engineering. It is not necessary that you're going to build huge machineries, or you're going to build up websites, huge websites, heavy websites. It's going to be a small thing that you do is also engineering. Say creating small products is also engineering. How do you think that a ring comes into existence? How do you think a small toy comes into existence? Everything is designed by engineers and then mass produced. But it has to be an engineer who is the source of it. Let's see. Now, when I was doing engineering, my dad actually didn't let me take anybody's advice, because I was very clear what I wanted to do. But I've been counseling students for the past say a couple of years, more than that. Now, first thing that when a parent comes to me along with their children in an education fair, they tell me, what guidance can you give us regarding our student's career? So first question I asked, did you ask anybody regarding this? So I always get an answer, yes, मैं मारा काका ने पूछू थू. I asked my kaka, I asked my dada, then I asked my neighbor, I asked my uncle, he's an engineer, then I asked a person who is working in a government job. But my problem is everybody gave me a different advice. Because different people have different advices, and you know, we should put taxes on giving advice, I guess. Then India will be the, you know, richest country in the world, I guess, because advice is free. Everybody is ready to give it, and everybody has their perception of giving the advice. They are not wrong. They are not giving you the wrong advice, because it is their perception about the world. It is their perception about the market, their perception about the course, their views. But how are you going to implement their views? You have to have a view of your own. So how to get the correct guidance? How to get the correct guidance? So there is a very simple way of getting the correct guidance of it. Ask the correct questions. Say, for example, say if this is me and I want to get a solution, so I'll ask a question. Now what kind of questions they can be? Let's see. The first question that you can ask is, which subjects will I be studying in this field of engineering? This is one of the most important questions that you should ask to yourself, not anyone else. You should ask yourself that if I am going to do mechanical engineering, then what subjects am I going to do study in mechanical engineering? हम लोग जब मोबाइल खरीदते हैं, when we buy a mobile, we go to 100 places and check its specifications. You know, it has 13 megapixel camera, 5 megapixel selfie camera, then it has 2 GB RAM, it has this much internal space, it has this much processor power. But the most important thing, the most important product, service that we are buying for our lives is a course. And if you are going for engineering without knowing what is mechanical engineering, or without knowing what is civil engineering, without knowing what is electrical engineering, what is the point of being it? There is no point. So this is the most important question that you should ask yourself. Then how are you going to get the answer to it? You are going to go to a website of the university. Say we are Gujarat Technological University. If I want to go for mechanical engineering, I will go to GTU's website. I'll go to the syllabus section. I'll download all the 4 years syllabus along with the teaching scheme, along with the evaluation scheme, and I'll see, okay, these are the subjects I'm going to study. These includes maths, these include physics, these include this includes this, and what are the efforts and what are the subtopics, and then relate it with your interests. Say I was really interested in mathematics, but when I couldn't realize the difference between mathematics and physics on the basic level. So when I came into mechanical engineering, I realized that maths is not my cup of tea. My cup of tea is physics. So maths and physics are very close to each other. Physics cannot stand without maths. So only the physics only the maths which was being used in physics was my interest. So it was better that I didn't go for a BSc in mathematics. Otherwise, I would have been laying somewhere, searching for job right now. So it is very important that you study that syllabus and then relate it with your interest. If your interest doesn't lie in it, check for other branches. Check for computer science, check for IT, check for biomedical, check for aeronautical, check for automobile, check for any other chemical or whatever branches are available. There are a lot number of branches available that we'll be discussing after a few minutes later. Now, after that, we are starting to make a career. So the next question that we should ask ourselves is, what is the job profile can this engineer have in this field? Say again, I'll take an example. Say if I'm a civil engineer, so I should have a job concept in my mind that I'm going to go to this industry, I'm going to be at this designation, and this designation requires this thing. So we have to do the reverse engineering of it. So if I don't know, I'll ask, say, sir, मैं civil engineering कर रहा हूँ. So what are the job prospects after civil engineering? This is not the question that you should ask. You should see for yourself. There are social media, which is available. There are websites that are available. There are companies' websites that are available which show that they are hiring engineers for specific job profiles. Say if I am a civil engineer, I might be hired as a project manager. I might be hired as a site engineer. I might be hired as a purchase manager. I might be hired as a surveying engineer. So all these are different job profiles that are available. Now again, in that what you should do is, after reading the syllabus, you will get a hold of what profiles there can be. So now then you should hunt for the companies which have good sections or who are good in this sector, and then you should aim for that company, follow that company for all the 4 years. Then the job that you get will be far better than what you are going to get without asking all these questions to yourself. Now, this is another very important question. We never look at the state government and central government's policy while choosing our studies. Now, this is really false. Today, if I had to go for engineering, I would look at central government's campaign like Make in India and Digital India, and I will look at crores of rupees of investment that is happening in the state right now, and I will see, okay, what kind of industries are there in Gujarat right now? Okay, these are the industries, say mechanical, electrical, civil, all are well established industries in Gujarat. Which industry is not there? A little bit of IT is coming up, a huge chunk of electronics is coming up. So this is just a view. I'm just giving you an example. It is not a real situation. It is an example that I'm giving you. So if I'm looking that in the next 7 years, 10 years, government is going to bring in lots of investment in this field, there is going to be a lot of scope. Even if you are a mediocre engineer, you can get an initial package of something and you can start working, get the experience, and based on that experience, you will become a better engineer. Now, this is the last question, last of the example is, along with the job prospects, do I have any entrepreneurial opportunities available? Now, entrepreneurship is being promoted by everyone today. You know, it has become a fashion. We have an entrepreneurship development department in our college. But that is not it. Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. It is not a subject. It is a lifestyle that you should have. So, from inside you, do you get a voice saying, okay, I'm not going to work, I'm going to create jobs? So, if that is your point, then are entrepreneurial opportunities available in that field at present? And do you have the family backup or the government backup or somebody else, the network backup or your knowledge backup to, you know, cater that need? So all these are simple questions. So the only solution to get a correct guidance is ask the correct questions. Don't let people give you advice. Let people answer your questions. If you let them answer your questions, they are going to give you the correct advice, because that is not advice, that is an answer. And if they answer wrong, then I think next time you are not going to ask them any questions. So these are the examples that you should follow. Okay, let's move on. Now let's move on to the branches. Let's talk a little bit about different branches that are available. First, we'll talk about mechanical engineering. Now, what do mechanical engineers do? Mechanical engineers basically design, develop, test mechanical thermal equipments, including aircrafts and all the materials. And there is a lot of, this is one of the core branches. So there are a lot of points that are available. So if you move on and see that in a day, what does a mechanical engineer do? Analyzes problems which are related to mechanical, thermal or related fields. Then why we are discussing this is, say once I become a mechanical engineer and get a job, I'll be doing at least one of these things around the year. So if I am not interested to do any of this, then I'm not interested in mechanical engineering. This is how you evaluate. So a day in a life of mechanical engineer is what you should study, because this is what you will be doing 40 years of your life post your engineering. So this is very important. So analyze the problems you see. A mechanical engineer analyzes the problems, designs or redesigns machines, thermal equipments, analyzes computer aided designing, develops test prototypes for devices, analyzes test results, tests different materials, oversees manufacturing processes, managing. Then all these things are basically what mechanical engineer does. So if you are interested in one of these things, these are just a few. There might be more. You can go on the net and search. You don't need to ask anybody. Google is there he has answer for everything, and you can get opinions from around the world without asking. You just have to type in, and the fingers do the trick here. So this is that. And then again, a mechanical engineer often works in automotive engineering, biomedical field. He can do the consulting part, which is an independent freelancing or contracting, HVAC engineering. He can also contribute to the architecture department, if you know, nuclear engineering, robotics, and yes, training and teaching. This is a very important part. And at present, teaching is one of the best paying jobs, the most comfortable jobs that is available in India today. Yeah, it was there around the world, but now it has become in India as well. The same thing has started happening. Now let's talk about electrical engineering. We all know what electrical engineering is, which deals with electrical parts. Now, do you basically know what is the difference between electrical engineering and electronics engineering? No, there are no audience actually, so I have to give you the answer. See, electronics engineering works between voltage from 0 to 20 volts, and it may work on AC, it may work on DC, right? But electrical engineering may work on AC, DC, but it is the voltage is really high, and the equipment is basically for transferring the power, giving powers. And electronic equipment mostly works on DC, and it needs to step down the voltage up from 0 to 20 volts. Everything electronic works between that particular thing. Okay, so for an electrical engineer, they can design power systems, they can design transmission of electricity, production of electricity, and communications, a little bit of part of communications, instrumentations. So all this comes under electrical engineering, I'm sorry. So a day in a life of electrical engineer is design new ways of delivering power, develop new ways of generating power, and then investigating complaints, energy engineering, energy like surveying the amount of energy which is being consumed in homes, industries, then what is a peak load. All these things are being done by an electrical engineer. Then there can be a production manager or project manager in one of the any supplying power stations and all. So the job prospects are computing equipment like instrumentation, then we have industrial machine, medical and scientific instruments. Medical instruments also have electrical impulses in that. So transportation, then computer related sectors, government jobs, and teaching and training, of course it's going to be there in each and every field that is available. Yeah, computer science engineering. Now this is good. Computer, there are two types of engineering. One is computer engineering and one is computer science engineering. You need to read the basic definition of it before opting for, say, computer science mein nahi mil raha hai to computer engineering le lete hai, computer engineering mein nahi mil raha hai to computer science mein le lete hai. See, it is very both the fields are very complementing to each other, but one involves study of principles of the computer architecture as well as hardware and software and computer related topics with numerical analysis and operation research and all those things, along with language design, structure and translation techniques. And for a computer engineer, he can become a software engineer, computer game developer, web developer, information security analyst, computer network architect, database administrator, or yes, he can go into teaching and training. But yes, computer science is for studying the more not theory basically, but studying the science of computer. And when we talk about the next part, that is computer engineering, a computer engineer is called more of a software, that is more concentrated towards the software which develops softwares, rather which can be either Windows or it can be a application which is more closer to the IT field rather than going into the science of what computers are. And for a common computer engineering job is computer programming, security, biomedical, power, digital, computer architect, etc. So both the fields are really close to each other, but they are not exactly the same. So it is very important to study the syllabus of both the paths and before taking admissions in any of that. And a day in a life of a computer engineer or computer science engineer is very similar. It just depends on what they might be coding something, they might be debugging something, they might be working on a algorithm, or they might be troubleshooting a computer, or they might be designing something, designing a process or logic circuits, or all those things. So moving on, information technology is again very close to computer and IT, but it is very different as well. Now information technology, we live in an information age, so passing on information, data, the data that we have today in this world is growing by terabytes per second. This is the kind of data that is growing. So we need IT. IT is basically transfer of data, making applications which work on platforms designed by electronics or computer science engineers, and for businesses, how to make business easy, how to integrate the computer products into making your life easy using softwares and all those things. So that is what information technology is. And on any given day, they might do what actually computer science engineer does, but the work profile differs. That is it. They might be they are usually seen in working in offices and research labs and getting new and different dimensions of computers to you. Possible career opportunities is game developer, application tester, web developer. IT is one of the most friendly fields for startups. Then we have teaching and training, so that is already there. Moving on, we have civil engineering. As you all know what civil engineers does. No, we actually don't know what civil engineer does. We have a perception that civil engineer is the one who builds the building, designs the building. I'm sorry, architect designs the building. Then the civil engineer executes the the construction of that building or the design using the concept that he or she has studied. Now the pillar, what material is going to go in, what size will be that pillar, and or the column, beam, and all this is designed and executed by a civil engineer, and he is the one who coordinates with the labor who actually builds it. So it is more of a side job. It also has white collar job opportunities, but a person who is good at project management, who is good at being tough, is it is better to go for civil engineering if you can do all that shit, because a few years of hardship will land you in a position where you are in a very good job profile. Then what surveying, managing construction equipments or construction sites, or monitoring infrastructure, monitoring constructions, or again in that another option is to go for material handling, buying the right material, testing that material, and everything comes under the job profile of a civil engineer. And for a civil engineer, you can be a structural design engineer, you can become a project manager, transportation design, the transportation system, the bridges, the road layouts, the town planning, and public sector jobs, public works department, construction. They can start a construction firm, dealing in construction material, and teaching and training is always there, as I said. Yeah. So the next is electronics and communication engineering. So this is one of the most favorable fields at this point of time, according to me. This is just my perception, because India is importing so much of electronics material. If we even start firms which decrease that import, say if we are spending $1 billion and that $1 billion is invested in India to produce the same thing, I think India's economy is going to go way ahead than what it is right now, because the number of laptops, the number of mobile phones, the electronic gadgets, TVs and all that are being imported in India by the companies, by the MNCs, is huge. And the amount of foreign investment, or the foreign currency that we are giving out for this, is immense. We might have the paying capacity, but it inevitably affects the economy of it. So this is basically the circuits which are there on printed circuit boards, and we go into the micro of it, that devices, small devices, gadgets, or those which make our life easy, automation. So all these come in electronics and communication engineering. And on any given day, one could be designing PCBs, programming microprocessors, or making logic algorithms, or automation, or taking up something and providing power to it. You might remember that when you were small, you used to have a car. At first, your parents would have given you a car which you had to drag along with you. Then they gave you a better mechanical car where you used to slide it back and leave it, it should run about. Then the next thing came was a remote control car, and that was the most fascinating thing. You must be thinking, oh, I got something which is out of this world. So that is again electronics engineering. So it is there from the basics of your life to going back to something which is very advanced, like image detection or something of that sort. So everywhere this electronics exists in our life today. Then we are moving on to getting gadgets to monitor our health, live health. So we get such kind of bands that we can wear, and we can see our blood pressure right there. We don't need a big equipment to measure blood pressure. So at any the career opportunities are in technology and internet companies, security hardwares, security systems, government agencies, defense agencies, UAVs, they have unmanned aerial vehicles. All that has electronic equipments. Aviation, avionics, the surveying system, or automation, production components, teaching and training obviously remains at every part of it. Apart from the core branches, there are some other branches that are available available in this, and some of them are chemical engineering, automobile engineering, aeronautical engineering, agriculture engineering, then we have biomedical engineering, and mechatronics and textile engineering. And all these things come up, and they might show you that, okay, you are basically doing something which is different. Engineers always feel a pride, I'm an engineer, so that pride comes in. But to get a pride which is not just felt by you, but also the society recognizes it, that is very important. So for that particular part, you need to be practically very sound. During the 4 years, you have to utilize all the 4 years, be practically sound, and go, say you read some theory, go out in the field, search for an example of that, search for an example of how it is being applied in the field. If you study automobile engineering, go and see an engine, that how it is, how its components are being linked to each other. Studying an engine is easy. We just draw it and we say, okay, 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 stroke, 4 stroke, but when we see an engine where it looks nothing like what I have studied. That is why a mechanic will have more information of that engine than you. He can start a dead engine, you cannot. So a guy who wants to become an automobile engineer, he should do that in the first year itself. He should go to a mechanic and say, give me an evening job. Learn how those components work, because until and unless you play with those components, how are you going to design them? How are you going to modify them? How are you going to do research on them? Then go for internships in industries, visit industries, ask them questions, make them mad, ask them all the questions that you have in your mind. How is this industry working? Which kind of bearing is there? Or which kind of chemical process do you use? Or which kind of equipments do you use? From where do you buy? What are the companies that are producing? So there are n number of questions. Engineer, if you start asking questions, then only you're going to become the engineer. Questions, it's not going to be, it should not be questions which are like, okay, क्या करना चाहिए मुझे? क्यों करना चाहिए? कैसे करना चाहिए? अच्छा, आप करके दोगे? So these are not the questions that you should ask. The questions should be intellectually, very sound. And for that, you need to read books. Read the books first, then start asking questions. That is what your correct learning is. And then the thing that you're going to become, the thing that you're going to become is an engineer. So that is about it. So if you have all these concepts clear, then I guess you are really looking at becoming a very cool and good engineer. And people, Yash, these are my contacts where you can get in touch with me. People usually call me YC, so you can also do that. And Facebook, Twitter, and you can directly write me an email as well if you want. So I hope that I was able to clear engineering as a career in your mind, and this is very important for people who are who are coming into final year. You still have 1 year, and people who are taking admission in first year, please clear your mind on what branch you are going to take and which branch you want to study depending on your hobby. And of course, second and third year students, please take these concepts and apply it. Still you have time, and I think using this you might just become a better engineer, have a better career. So all the best, and thank you.